From 1994 to 2004, Friends was the biggest TV show of all time. In 2004, the finale was watched by over 50 million people. These days, that would be considered like blockbuster TV show. That would be considered a world record. We would dream of numbers like that in the days of streaming and, you know, people binge watching things. 50 million would be huge. Since that final episode in 2004, people have been wondering, will they get the gang, all 6 of them, back in the same room again? Well, 17 years later, our prayers have been answered, ladies and gents. All 6 cast members back in that iconic apartment, the iconic apartments, the iconic Central Perk. They are back there. And I'm doing this video to answer the question, well, especially in my opinion, the question everybody has been asking. Was it good, and was it worth the wait? Well, it took me quite a while. Obviously, I'm now filming this on a Sunday, and it came out on Thursday here in the UK. HBO Max, America, I have Now TV. So I left it a couple of days, like I always do with movies, and I'm going into it now. I have such a mixed reception in my brain about this that I have to break it down into best and worst. I'm going to dip between the two because there's a couple of things that I know I don't like, and there's a couple of things I know I love. So I need to break it up for my own sanity, because otherwise you'll just hear me rant for 15 minutes, and that's no fun, and no one wants to look at this for 15 minutes. Hence I've got those lovely people in the back, just so you've got something else to stare at while I ramble on and really piss you off. So let's start with one of my best moments. Of course, I'm gonna start with the obvious, the nostalgia of seeing, first of all, you see Schwimmer walking into the room, looking around the famous apartment 20, and you just can't help but melt. You know, people my age tell each other, you don't need to carry on, they don't need to do this, they don't need to, you know, bring this thing out. They've been away for nearly 20 years since it finished. They don't need to drag it out, but when they stand there talking to each other about, remember when you had the turkey on your head and this sort of shit, you can't fault it. It's amazing. They're so cool and cute together. They're a bunch of 50-year-olds reminiscing about when they were 20. You can't fault it. It's really fun. It's great to see them all together like that. I've seen them all in separate instances doing their own thing. Obviously Jen's in a lot of movies, David Schwimmer's done some TV shows over here, Lisa Kudrow's in Space Force. You know, they're all doing their own thing, but it's great to see them sit down on that couch and just shoot the breeze about this great TV show. That was one of the best things for me. Right, one of the worst. Around halfway through this 2-hour wonderful thing to do with nostalgia for people like me in their 30s, there is a catwalk of not all of, but some of the famous costumes worn by the characters. Ross's leather trousers that he makes paste in his legs and slaps himself in the face. Spudnik. They're all in this catwalk here. I mean, it's such a shoehorn. You get Cara Delevingne walking out in Rachel's bridesmaid dress with the dress riding up her ass. Justin Bieber dressed as Spudnik. The only thing for me that kind of redeemed it was Matt LeBlanc coming out in all of Chandler's clothes and doing lunges. That was hilarious because we all know and adore that scene. Why they had to get celebrities to do it, no idea. I'm pretty sure David Schwimmer could probably still wear leather trousers. He's not completely inept at wearing clothes, is he? It's one of those things. It's like, why did you need them to do it? The 6 of them are still alive and still very agile people. They're not gonna be impossible. Or is that part of the $20 million they got each was just to sit there? I don't understand. It just really wound me up. What was the point? On to another good one. Yes, that is right. In this reunion special, all of the guys sit around a big table and do table reads of famous scenes from the TV show. It's just great fun watching them. They do a scene where Phoebe catches Chandler and Monica doing it in the window from Ross's new apartment. It's brilliant. We all know the scene. It's in your head when they're saying it. Of course they put clips in, but it's just so funny that they do this. Lisa Kudrow's on fire, still has the old Phoebe. It's brilliant fun. I just can't fault the table reads. They bring such nostalgia. Seeing them in their 50s read those lines out, it's almost like you're back in the writer's room in the 90s and early 2000s watching them do the table read before they do the actual episode. It's fantastic. I wanted more of that. Unfortunately, we got some Justin Bieber catwalk bollocks rather than the six of them actually having intimate moments. I get a lot of that. But this is a good part, so that was really good fun. I really enjoyed those. It's working on the nostalgia thing from the first point, but you can't fault that. It's fantastic. Right, this one's gonna take all me fucking muster. Only this could make me embarrassed to be British, especially when you ask one of the questions to the 6 members of one of the biggest TV shows in history. He genuinely asks, who's got the loudest laugh? What a waste of 3 minutes of screen time with these 6 that will never get back together to talk about Friends. What a waste, you fucking dick. Of all of the people to do the Friends reunion, I didn't think that they would get the late night talk show host from England, James Corden, to do it. I don't understand why. He's not that much older than me. Maybe it's because he was a child when it came. I was 13 when it ended. So why get James Corden? Don't understand. The cast of Friends are very famous. They have a lot of famous friends. A lot of famous people cameoed in the show. Why not get someone like Paul Rudd? Or if you're going to get someone who wasn't part of the show, how about someone who's famously friends with a lot of them? Conan O'Brien. He's my favourite late night talk show host. Get him to do it. He would have been fun. He's good at interviews. James Corden, it's just the Russell Brand syndrome of, you've got an English accent, you're funny, get you on the screen. He asked stupid questions, talked way too loud and over the cast of Friends, which is so weird. Why shout over them, trying to get your questions over them? Let them talk. That's what we're here for. I'm not here for a man in a purple velvet suit making me feel stupid being British. What is the actual point? You could have had anybody else do it. My wife had a good idea. Why not get the actress who played Emma, or Cole Sprouse, the man who played David Schwimmer's son for 3 or 4 years in the show? Can't remember, on and off. But why not get one of them? It would have been nostalgic. They would have bounced off of each other. He asked 2 questions, and as I said, one of them being, who's the loudest laugher? What does that matter? You've got all 6 of them in a room. You can ask anything you want. What's the point in the whole interview section? It was so stupid.
Fuck you, James Corden.
Could have got anybody else. It would literally, you'd have these amazing segments of them doing exactly what I said earlier, and it would cut back to them and it would put me off. Okay, that's killed the moment dead then, is it? They're walking around this amazing apartment I've loved and been a part of. It's played every day in the UK over. You watch Friends whenever you want, and then I get James Corden, who I don't want to watch, talking to people I want to hear from. Go away. Let's go to something good, shall we? Kaufman, Bright and Crane. You see that at the end of every single Friends episode, and in this we have talking head interview segments from the 3 creators / writers of Friends. it gave you such a good insight into the creation. They go into who they cast and how difficult it was. It was so in depth and so great. And these are three unsung heroes of Friends. Of course the cast is huge, but every single title card, you see that at the end. And it's great to hear the in-depth ways that it was hard to cast Rachel. David Schwimmer was doing a lot of theatre acting. He didn't want to do TV anymore. It's fascinating to look at these things, and you hear it from the people themselves, and it's a fantastic insight. And I'm a TV and movie nerd. If there's a documentary on, I'll watch it. Anything to do with the making of, you know, if a DVD hasn't got the special features, you buy the Blu-ray just to get all of it, you know. I'll watch 3 hours of a making of documentary, like the Pirates of the Caribbean ones were fucking massive. I love all that, breaking it all down, and you finally get that with the creators of the show, and it is such a great in-depth look at it, and it's brilliant. Again, they take some of the sting out of it by getting
twatty Corden back,
but these bits are worth it. And finally, my worst thing, I think, and I knew I would hate this, it's this. When I saw that they finally were going to release the Friends reunion, and we were finally going to get it over here, because I thought we were going to have to wait for ages, it was so cool to see. I wonder what that was then. When I finally saw on Instagram the poster, they were going to release it on HBO Max, it's going to be 27th, we were going to get it here on Now TV. I was like, yes, brilliant. And then a couple of days later, they released a post of who was going to be cameoing in it. And I saw people like BTS, blah, blah, Reese Witherspoon, fine, she was on the show, but, you know, all these little cameos from pop stars. And I was sitting there going, oh no, it's another one, you know, like the In-Betweeners reunion. I thought it was going to be like that, where people are going to pop out of nowhere and go, oh look, it's someone who's a fan, and they're going to talk about how much they want to be in it and all that shit. And I was really disappointed, and that kind of is what happened, and kind of is what annoyed me. Most of the cameos were not Friends related. Okay, we got the Geller parents and we got Janice. They came back. We didn't get Paul Rudd. We didn't get the kids who played Emma and Ben. We didn't get any of the big players, really. We got 2 or 3. But we did get Justin Bieber as a potato, Cara Delevingne as the holiday armadillo for some reason. We also got BTS doing a one-liner. There's all like 7 of them, and then one of them just says, it taught me English. That's great. But why do I need to see BTS when I could look at, you could spend the money you got for BTS, spend that on Paul Rudd telling me about the 2 seasons he was on Friends. But no, you didn't do that. COVID or whatever, it doesn't matter. You got Gunther on a big fucking screen and he told you about it, even though it looks nothing like him. Gunther was there. Gunther had like 4 lines in 10 years. Where's Paul Rudd? Where's Ben? 3-year-old had more to do with it than fucking Gunther did. Janice comes out, does the laugh and sits near Matthew Perry's lap. That's it. But I get BTS, I get Knobhead dressed as a potato, I get Lady Gaga, and I have huge respect for Lady Gaga, and I love Lady Gaga, she's a genius. But Lisa Kudrow sings Smelly Cat on her own, and then Lady Gaga belts it harder than anyone else. Great voice, but it was so loud and so stupid and so pointless. Again, love her voice, but why? Smelly Cat's not supposed to be sung like a fucking gospel singer. It's supposed to be sung like Lisa Kudrow. But she stood there and genuinely looked lost, strumming away on a song that she hasn't played for like 10 years. What's the point? You may as well just got Lady Gaga to sing it and go, ladies and gentlemen, Lady Gaga, and get her to sing it. Because Lisa Kudrow had fuck all to do with her own song. The cameos were stupid. I hated them. They were a waste of money and the wrong people. Why didn't you get the people who are actually in Friends? You had great cameos. Jon Favreau, Hank Azaria, all of these amazing people, but none of them turned up because you couldn't put a Zoom call in. What? But you got 2 80-year-olds to sit in the fucking crowd, just go, we love them, they called us their parents. Great. That's all I got. But the rest of the cameos were top 40 Justin Bieber wasn't even born. Like, what's he doing there? I bet he never watched the shitting thing. God's sake. It kind of... I'm going to get down to my final thoughts on this. Listen, I think it's a damn good special. It really is. If you're a Friends fan, or you were of my generation who've watched it constantly, and we still watch it now. I watched a couple of episodes with my wife, and we still found it funny. And it's been gone for nearly 20 years since it finished. It's still great. Still watch it. It is still great. Fantastic. Is it worth the 17-year wait? No, not even slightly. I think it was very rushed. The cameos were rushed. I've already told you about how much that annoyed me. I think it could have been better as a talking head documentary, or a talking head sort of them all going to each other, or more of just them in the apartment chatting and just going in between to people's memories of it. That would have been more beneficial than the dog shit with James Corden. There's a lot of bad things, but it's great for nostalgia. Honestly, just check it out for that. Otherwise, it's just fine. I'm glad they're not going to do anything in the future, because I think it would ruin it. This is the last time they're getting together as a group to talk about Friends. Obviously, in real life, there's been pictures of them. They meet up all the time. But this is the last time they're talking about Friends, and I think that's a good way to just, shut it down, have it done, gone. Okay, it wasn't the best, but it's great for nostalgia's sake, and that's all I can say about the matter. So there you have it, guys. There is my review of the Friends reunion, the one where they all got back together. If you have seen it, then please let me know in the comments down below. I'll read them all. I'd love to have a chat about them. Well, are you a big fan of Friends like me? Are you of my age group where it's still a big thing for you? Please let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget, we're still trying to catch the old Stuckminator. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm still alive and kicking. And until next time, this is your friendly neighbourhood ginger guy saying, Ginge out.